How you doing, guys? This is Reno back with some MCOC content. I just want to talk about the Infinity Stones while I still have them. As you can see, I have about 9 hours left before they go away. So I want to talk about who's using these Infinity Stones, and I'll really more talk about not so much about the Infinity Stones, but the champions that use them. Um, I really think that they should get above the champions that have the Infinity Stones. Let me just tell you why. Let me just give you a rating on them, and I think the best way to get through them is just by here using this. There you go. See, everything's in order. Okay. All right. So, what do I think about these guys? And with the Infinity Stones and without it. I just want to say they do deserve the above the OG Avengers. I think they're a big part of uh, of this game, and as you can see, based on the movie, you could tell that they're really a big part of this game. And I think it's also a win-win for the community, the players, and Kabam if they buff all the six champs that have the Infinity Stone. Let me just tell you why. Because they're gonna offer crystals with them, of course, and people are gonna buy it if they buff these guys. Like the same thing with Venom and Carnage, they buff them and then they end up giving they offer crystals for them, and then people end up buying them. So I think it's a win-win for the community and Kabam. Let me just rate. I have a rating, 5 different tiers. I have the terrible tier, the okay tier, the good tier, demigod tier, and then the god tier. I personally think even with the Infinity Stones, if you take away power, which is Hulk, he's still without Hulk taking away power. I still have I would rather choose 4 champions in the game other than even 4 other people in this uh than the other people carrying the Infinity Stones other than power. Let me just tell you which ones. I'd rather have Aegon, Omega Red, Ghost, and Corvus. I'd rather have those 4 champs rather than having other than power, which is Hulk, than the people that are carrying the other Infinity Stones. Big reason why for me is they can shrug off debuffs. That's why I would rather have them. Let me just give you my rating on who do I think, and I'm gonna start out with the best out of all the OG Avengers. I think Hulk is the best one. He out of the terrible tier, okay tier, good tier, demigod, and god tier, he belongs in level category 3, which is good tier. He's the best one out of all the OG Avengers. Yet for some reason they give him the most the most powerful gem, which is Power Stone, and my opinion is the best OG out of all the 6 Avengers that have the Infinity Stones, and yet they give him the most power for some reason. I mean, his power is Power Stone, I understand, but the guys just look at this. Okay, of course this will never. If he gets a buff, it's never gonna be this. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's just how strong this guy is. I mean, I've been able to beat an epic with 1 star. That's how crazy this is. So let's just think about what reasonable uh, buff for Hulk for him to be like in my opinion, he'll be when I compare him to Thing, I think he's like I think he's like Thing is like a better version of Hulk. That's what I think. I believe Thing is in demigod tier, where Hulk is in belong in the good tier. Okay, let's just be realistic on what he can have as a buff. Okay, so here I really like the power. If they do anything with the, they don't take buff this guy. It's just mostly the power for me. 50 chance to, okay, the 100% protection against the energy damage, yeah, that's not gonna work. That's just too OP. So let's just go to the second one. It's 50% chance to generate a fury buff, increasing attack by 9.3. Okay, or 122.7. This is a 4-star max. 122.7 for 5 seconds when struck with energy attacks. I think that's a good one. It's pretty much generating fury buffs, and it's when he's being attacked, 50% of the time he's going to generate a fury buff. Other than that, Hulk can never lose more than 5% of his max health. Yeah, that's too OP. You can't have that. Um, I think instead of that, it's like it would be something like when Hulk loses more than 5% of his max health from any source of damage, he gains. Basically, this is what happens. He from a single source, basically here, every time Hulk loses 5% of his health from a single source of damage, he gains indestructible and unstoppable. So let's just go back to that. Let's just focus on power. So yeah, take away number one. That's just not gonna happen. Just too OP. If I was focusing on power, I was just thinking about here, depending on its missing health, Hulk increases the potency of any fury buff by up to 300%. That's good. I think they should keep that. This would be great for him because he's supposed to be the strongest Avenger, and he's strong, but it's not that strong compared to like Thing. It's harder than he does. So obviously the new champ Colton Bevan, much harder than he does. So definitely this would be great if he can have the power that he should deserve. And special attacks. Let's not talk about that. For now, let's just talk about power. Okay, when gaining Fury buff from non-special attacks, Hulk gains 1 additional Fury buff for every full bar of power. Yeah, that's good. And this one, Enhanced Fury, I really like that one. Enhanced Fury, all Hulk's Fury buffs are replaced by Enhanced Fury buff, increasing Hulk's attack by 122.7. Enhanced Fury does not expire and can stack up to 99 times. I really like that. It's kind of like Guillotine, where he charges his souls. And souls, with just focusing on the power, I expect them to have the same amount of damage as Guillotine, which is like about 150k for a 5-star max, I believe. Maybe less, rank 4 5-star, something like that, or a 6-star rank 1, something like that. But I don't expect him to hit as hard as Cold Obsidian, but you expect him to hit harder than Thing, that's for sure, because he's obviously stronger than Thing. So I really think having this enhanced Fury and all the Fury buffs that he gets, and stacking up to 99 times, it's gonna probably hit about 150k, rank 4, maybe rank 4 5-star, rank 6, rank 1 6-star, maybe even a rank 5 5-star, about 150k. That would be really great. And okay, let's just, to be fair, let's just say rank 5 5-star or rank 2 6-star, about 150k. That seems fair. Oh, okay, it doesn't have a 6-star, so let's have rank 5 5-star, about 150k. That seems to be fair. Okay, let's think about other things in that. If that's all they do, that'd be great. But let's just think about what else can they do. So obviously Hulk can never lose more than 5%. That's too OP. That's no way. So instead, this one, every time Hulk loses 5% of himself from a single source, he gains indestructible and unstoppable for 6 seconds. And this should go to like cooldown of like 30 seconds if he activates it, and instead of 6 seconds, it should be 3 seconds. and then for every full bar of power, he gains an extra second. So I think that's great. Also, this might be too OP, but let's just say once activating a special attack while unstoppable or indestructible, the special attack costs 50% less. But that's good. And doubles, yeah, this is good. I think this is great. Special attack, it's yeah, it's pretty good. Okay. Having said all that, I think he would be up there with Ting as a demigod tier. I don't really put him at god tier level. I mean, that's kind of really close to god tier, but I think I've put him like closer to Thing. Let's just look at Thing and why I would. His Thing is basically a better version of Hulk. I don't have two. Unfortunately, I only have him as a 3-star. Look at this guy. I mean, um, he has the unbreakable spirit where he pretty much he gains like protection from damages, so he can reduce damage by 36.41% plus 1% for each rock stack, which is up to 20 rock stack, which is crazy. This triggers, they call them spirits, pretty much triggers when thing is done, or he takes 300% of damage from attack rating. That's crazy. Pretty much hits like it's like hitting a rock. I mean, it's pretty much gonna be tough to beat him. Like you gotta keep hitting him and stuff like that. And look at this passive. Hulk has immune to poison. That's it. That's one immunity from debuffs. This guy has 6. Let me see, or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. He has 7 debuffs that he can that he shrugs off versus Hulk, which is only 1. Okay, that's crazy. Also, as you could see, when he gets to where's that rock stack lasts indefinitely up to 15 stacks, and then for each rock stacks he increased physical and energy resistance by 114.89. That's only for a 3-star. That's pretty crazy. 3-star, what is it, rank 3? That's pretty crazy. And what else? I didn't even see this. Inflict weakness, decreasing the opponent's attack by 70% for 6 seconds. That's insane. He becomes a special 3. He becomes unblockable, unstoppable for 8 seconds. That's another crazy. It's pretty crazy. Also, I mean, look at this. Even his special is better than Hope. Let's see what it is that I saw before. I saw it. Oh, where is it at? Something about 15 stacks. There you go. When thing is hit, he has 15 or more rock stacks and he becomes unstoppable for 5 seconds. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, yeah. And then he's the only demigod here. Can you believe that? That's why I think if you buff Hulk with all the stuff that's going on, shit, not that. If you buff Hulk with all the stuff that's going on, I think he'll be just there with demigod tier with Thing. I mean, if you want to make him god tier, a better instead of Thing being a better version of Hulk better version than Thing. You can really, instead of 100% protection, you can say 100% increase against energy damage, 100% energy resistance against energy damage. Uh, and then what else? And then here, depending on its missing health, Hulk increases physical resistance up to 100%. So if you could add those two things, I'll put them pretty much at god tier level. And it's kind of like thing with just a better version, in my opinion. If you put all those things, but like I said before, even without those things, I'll be okay with that, and he'll pretty much belong in demigod tier, in my opinion. Alright, so let's talk about the others. Yes, it's been longer than I expected for one of them, but um, let me just quickly talk about the rest. Let me go to probably the worst champ of all the six is, where is it? Which one is that? Nope, not Captain America. Infinity Iron Man. He's just terrible. He's in a terrible tier. Just imagine if we just have all these buffs on him, all these with the Infinity Stone, he doesn't even belong in God tier. He belongs in you could make an argument demigod tier. I mean, that's the thing. I personally think, okay, if you take one thing out, you pretty much put everything in there. I would just like Arc Overload regenerates 50% more health. You can take that out, and grant, and then pretty much if you can grant him this much, 1395 physical resistance for 6 seconds. That's great. All this stuff, like also he can shock his opponent. He can build armor buffs and be able to shock his opponent. That's great. It's pretty much like if you put all these things in here except the Arc Overload regenerates 50% more health, he's pretty much Infinity Iron Man, you know. And Infinity Iron Man is like, and you can make a case demigod here. So that's it, okay. And there are things that Infinity Iron Man better than he does, even without this, with these buffs. You can arguably say like you can obviously, he has the he can regenerate. That's probably a plus for him. But even without that, he's pretty much I think Infinity Iron Man is still better, and he's a demigod tier in my opinion. So than his Infinity Stone without the Arc Overload 50% more health. And he's still gonna get help from regenerating, but if you take that out, it's pretty much gonna be in good tier or maybe demigod tier. But obviously, if you add that, it's gonna be demigod tier, 50% more health. But yeah, it's really without this Infinity Stone, it's really terrible. I really think he deserves a buff and all these stuff. I don't even take away. You can take away the specials. Just put everything here. The shock. We have a shock and increased armor buffs. It's great. Increased physical resistance. When he has the overload, arc overload, that's great. No, I don't even care. Not so much about the 50% more health. That would put him at demigod tier. Just if you could add that, but even without that, I'd probably I put him on good tier, maybe demigod tier. You could say that. Alright, this is the rest. How was this one? Captain America, I think he's in okay tier, so second tier. This obviously he's probably an OP champ other than Hulk. But really, they did really well on the Infinity Stone. I mean, there are things I can probably just mention that I would want to have him to have. If they buffed him, 50% chance. Nope, not that. All stun inflict permanent power sting, and point with power sting takes 31. Okay, this is a 3-star max. All stun inflicting permanent power sting. That's really great. That deals direct damage. First one, I think that's great. 50% chance of power sting is required after triggering. That's just too much. That would be tough to defend also. Really good defender if they have that, but take that away. Special attack deals 10% additional damage for every power sting on the opponent. That's freaking OP. That's, I don't want to say OP, but that's good. So take away the middle part, the 50%. Fatigue, that's also good. Striking fatigue opponent 6 power sting. Opponent with power sting takes that much damage. Each time opponent is fatigued, power lock the opponent 3 seconds and take a power sting. That's also good. This one, melt time block. This is great. So 50% of damage. Well time block is reflected back to the opponent. Of course, the last one, well time block regenerates health equals 100% damage mitigated. Yep, that's too OP, so you can take that out. So take out the last one and the first one. Yep, that's just too OP, and the middle one right here. We didn't mention about this one. Take that away, that's too OP. Take away the second one. This one, 50% chance. And the well time block regenerate equal to 100% damage. So take away those. He'll belong in demigod tier. I think he's in OK tier, so if we jump like level 2, we'll jump to level 4. Even if you add this regenerate 1% of max, it's pretty close, pretty much god tier. Okay, yeah, you could say he's definitely god tier with the power stone. I mean, with the infinity soul stone. Yep. Other than Hulk, I guess him also. With the well time block, yeah, that's too OP. So it's this one, 50% chance. Regenerate, yep, okay. Let's go to the other one. Where do I rate Thor? I put him at level 2 OK tier. But this really is terrible. They really did a terrible job. I think they made Hulk too powerful, so they're like, okay, we gotta nerf. Can't do that with Thor. So I mean, if you put all this in him, or with the Infinity, even with the Infinity Stone, he belongs in God tier. I don't even put him on demigod tier. You know, he went from level 2 to level 3 with this Infinity Stone. I don't even know why they had this to begin with. That was just really terrible. The worst one out of all the Infinity Stones. Alright, what would I go next? Oh, that's Power Stone. Okay. Time Stone. Where did I put? What's her name? Black Widow. I put him in OK tier, level 2. If you with the Infinity Stone, I put him in demigod tier, so he jumps 2 levels. I think for him to be in good tier, level 3, I just think they can just gain 15%. Black Widow gains 15% power each time she attacks and opponent abilities fail to trigger. That's great. I really like this one the most. Alternate timeline, gaining a power bar of power fear applies all debuffs. So that's only 2 things I would want her to have debuff, and she'll pretty much be in good tier. But I'm really I would be happy with just those 2 things. Okay. Now let's go to my favorite one for some reason, other than power, is Hawkeye. Right now I put a Hawkeye without the Infinite Stone at OK tier, level 2. Okay. With the Infinity Stone, he's pretty much demigod tier. But there's 2 things I really, I mean, I think with the buff, it's kind of hard to say. You might say demigod tier with just these 2 things, which I really like. Each hit of the combo meter increases the potency of new damage and debuff by 1%. That's great for long fights. You know, if you get to like, 300 hit combo, that's 300% damaging for new debuffs. That's freaking awesome. Okay. Even like a disposable, even get to 1,000 hit combo. I mean, that's 10 times. That's 10 times the power of the debuffs. That's pretty insane. But you know, that's pretty cool. And what else? This is another thing I like. And so just in case your fauna is immune to shock, bleed, or incineration, those abilities those abilities increase the degeneration debuff, dealing 279.6 direct damage over 10 seconds. That's really great. I think that's cool. So two things. Each hit of the combo meter, that's awesome to have. And vulnerability. So if your one is immune to bleed or shock or incineration, they get a debuff instead, which is great. That's really cool. That's all the two things I really asked for him to get buffed. This would put him at demigod tier, I believe. I say good to get demigod tier. I think more like demigod tier in my opinion. So that's it. Thank you for watching.